going on, guys?
What up?
What up? Hey, congrats on third, man. Yeah, dude.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
So,
Yeah.
so what was it like? I know you were pretty. I don't know. You were going for the win, of course, but third is still very good. But how did it play out? Did you lose by?
So
Was it a little tough or?
yeah, yeah. So it was like there was only like 10 people in advance because like it was like 50 people total. And
Yeah.
then there were like wasn't like some people like weren't competing. And I got there and was like practicing, like got to hang out with some people. And then when I started playing, because I wasn't the first match and I was sitting in the back and it took them like 4 minutes to finish the seven tricks. And I was like, okay, like I'm getting hope, like because I didn't take into account like the like how nervous, like obviously. And then I got up there, and the first run was it was like I so like obviously I could hit like all the tricks like bang 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 like run through them, but
Yeah.
I got up there and I was like around USA. It took me like three tries.
Mm.
Candlestick swap spike first tee, and then the lunar one second tee. But Bird over Valley literally took me like half the time I spent was on Bird over Valley because
Wow.
I'd get it and I'm shaking so much like I can't get it over, and then I miss
Mm.
spike like five times. That was like so mad. But then the guy actually got to spacewalk while he was on candlestick swap spike when I got to Bird, and he was on spacewalk when I got like, and I was still on Bird. But then I hit the next three like all three in a row.
Oh
And
wow.
then and that happened. And then the one I lost was the same. He was actually still on around USA, and I went one, two, three on the first three tricks.
Hmm?
He was on spacewalk swap spike again when I was still on Bird. And then he got it and beat
Uh,
me. And then the last one, I was
mhm.
one, two, three, took not as long on Bird, and then one, two, three, and one, which so it was just
Nice.
the stall really, I guess, which was weird for me because like at battle, like Handel's stall was like one of the most consistent tricks I hit, which was like super weird. But I
Hmm.
think it was just like I guess the fact that you're trying to go as fast as you can. So,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
yeah,
Two ladder's a little
so
different. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. Well, congrats though on third.
yeah.
That's
Thank you.
super good. And yeah, now you have more experience in speed ladder. I think it's a really cool way to compete. It's how we used to compete like 10 years ago, more than that actually. But um yeah, I like the format of it. I've always liked it. So yeah, I mean next one you'll be in you're in advanced this time, you'll be in pro next time, yeah?
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, exactly. How'd you like the pressure? Because obviously speed ladder is like, I mean, it's all pressure at the end of the day, like freestyle, open, speed ladder, but I mean, speed ladder is like it's in the name. I mean, you're racing. So
Uh-huh.
how was that kind of pressure and how did it feel, I guess?
I'm not gonna lie, I definitely like open more.
Yeah.
I like definitely do, but I mean, it was still cool to like compete like that way. Because it's like different. Because like especially like going against like another person like head on, like that's what open is.
Yeah.
But like it's like like it's literally a race, and I liked it, but I guess it was just like I need like more practice, obviously, because
Yeah. Mhm. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Did you so that's all took place. There was beginner, intermediate, advanced, and then pro, right?
Yeah,
Hmm.
because the two guys who actually beat me were both said they play amateur, but they were playing down because they weren't going to play up because
No.
literally every and Bailey was there. He
Really? Nice.
yeah, he didn't do the best, but he got paired up against like who was his first match? It was like crazy. I think it was like Kevin DeSoto,
I
and
see.
then his second one was a guy from Question. So
I see.
but it was cool to see him. And he like
Yeah,
walked up to me. He goes, "Are you Thomas?" And I was like, I recognized him, but I forgot who it was. So I was like, "Yeah." He was like, "Oh, it's so good to see you." I was like, "Remind you of your name?" And he was like, "Bailey." I was like, "Oh, so good to
yeah,
see you, dude."
that's awesome.
Yeah,
Way to
but
connect.
yeah,
Way to
and
connect.
they said because like almost every single pro who was there were like actually like pro, like they had pro models and stuff.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
that they just decided to play down. But still, so I
that's
mean, it was good competition.
yeah, cool,
Definitely.
cool. And top three was Alex, Kelvin, and Kevin.
Yeah, it was basically the same thing that TKO was, or not TKO now, Race to Lace. But the first one, it was Kelvin, Alex, Kevin. And then the second one was Alex, Kelvin, Kevin. And this one was Alex, Kelvin, Kevin. So it's been the top three, like the
Okay,
same every time.
that's funny. That's cool. Yeah, that's awesome that they got to get out there. I know Lyndon, like, yeah, most of the Soul team, or I guess a good portion of the Soul team was there. Lyndon was there as well. Chad, of
Hmm.
course. Yeah, that's really cool. That's cool.
Yeah, a lot of fun.
Nice. Nice. Well, you'll be playing them next time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, sweet.
Yeah.
Dude, is that Jacob?
Jacob with the haircut, dude.
Jacob with a haircut.
Let's go.
Uh, what's up?
Nice haircut, man.
Thanks.
Perfect. Perfect. Looks good.
What's good, Colton? Eric, what's up? Let's go, guys. Yeah.
Nice.
Yo.
Hey, Colton.
Colton's like light flickering. Do you have a flickering light, Colton? Do you have like a strobe light?
My gosh, something's happening. All right.
Hey,
Hey.
Hey,
it's actually my fan.
Oh, nice.
it's your fan.
Covering the light.
Cool.
Nice. Well, good to see you guys.
Lotus.
Yeah, this meeting, I definitely kind of a late notice for what the topic was going to be again. But, Nick and I put a video out last week, a little over like probably 10 days ago now, about our thoughts on what's most important to approach sponsorship with. And today in this meeting, we're going to go over that with you guys. And if you have any questions at all, depending on your situation or about anything we're saying, feel free to interject, raise your hand on Zoom, and we'll definitely happy to open to discuss anything about this. So we're gonna first talk about the approach we like to take to sponsorship that we'd recommend for us back when if we were starting all over again. And then if you guys are curious about anything relating to sponsorship in general, how it worked for us, on Sweets for 9.5 years as pros for that team, and anything about our experiences that we've seen interacting with other sponsor players or whatever, anything about that, please don't hesitate to ask. And yeah, but the first thing, we basically boil it down to three main topics of how to approach sponsorship. And at the end of the day, I want to actually even just preface this, but a lot of people want to get sponsored, but Nick and I basically want to challenge people to expand that goal and challenge people to think about, okay, I want to get sponsored and I want to have a beautiful relationship with a beautiful, like, symbiotic, beneficial relationship with the sponsor. I want to have a sustainable relationship with the sponsor, because a lot of people just will have the goal of becoming sponsored as just that, and once they achieve it, by like any means, at any cost necessary, when they just do it to do it, it oftentimes results in a split between the company and the player. There's a lot of players nowadays who get sponsored within the first year, that will get sponsored, and within a year they part ways with the company for whatever reason. And these three things that Nick are about to cover really challenge people to think more than that. Okay, like, I want to get sponsored, but like, what quality of sponsors do I want? What does that relationship look like? So basically, we want to just challenge people to think about that instead of just becoming sponsored as like the thing, by any means necessary. And yeah, the first thing we're gonna talk about, Nick, you wanna take it? You wanna take it?
Yeah. So the first thing on our list is liking the product. This one is the most, I guess, the easiest to test, to judge and to find out. Every Kendama, there's so many brands out there nowadays compared to when we started. It's a lot easier to get your hands on a Kendama, any Kendama. They're sold everywhere on sites, even Amazon and things like that. And the main thing you first want to do is I've seen a lot of people kind of get trapped in, oh yeah, I just want to get sponsored real quick, so I just took this company, and I just realized I don't really I like their Kenamas, but I kind of like other ones better. I kind of don't find myself playing them as much, and now I'm kind of trapped. The first thing is to like the product. And there's a lot of ways that you can do to go about this. Obviously, first one being, okay, testing Kendama out, buying ones that you've won, or buy the ones that you online, or using the ones that you've won. But better, once you get down the line of actually giving yourself time and time of day to test out a handful, 5, 6, however many, you get to deduce what you actually don't like more than anything. So instead of what you're finding that you like, you find what you don't like. And from there, it's pretty easy to kind of see which company or which people you want to try and see a better relationship with, ones that you can develop more with. This is obviously the people, and I think personally, Zach and I would agree that the people and the company's vision, which what we're going to talk about in a second, are the most important. But not every single person can go to an event anytime they want. So the best first judgment would be to actually, give yourself the time of day of, finding out what a company's Kendama plays like, what they play like compared to others, and then making your own best decision from there, your own opinion. And then from there, you can go about the connections and in that. But
Yeah, and the reason it's the probably the most primary like factor you want to pay attention to first. And it's probably the easiest one because a lot of Kenamas are good nowadays, and it's likely that people are gonna like most Kenamas nowadays because they're all big, they're all easy to use, big cups. They'll of course vary in their shapes, but realistically, I mean, back when Nick and I were playing, there were probably like two really good Kendama brands that stood above the rest, but now they're all very, very much similar, and you can get used to them. But at the end of the day, if you don't like what you're playing, then the discussion of a sponsorship and the relationship between companies, like it's over. It's not. You're gonna want to like what you're playing first, and then the thoughts about that are gonna start, coming to your head. But if you don't like the product, and then what we were talking about earlier about having an amazing relationship, an amazing quality sponsor is just not going to happen. Because if you spend your time thinking all the time you pick up a Dama that you just don't like playing, you're like, well, I hope it gets. I'm really close to getting sponsored by this company, like, and then like imagine you actually do get sponsored, and you're like, well, I still don't actually like this Dama that much. I really like I don't know, like GTs or like Kusas or Sweets or whatever, but hosted to this company, then if you're then it's just not going to be a good look, and you're not going to want to be on the company at the end of the day. So liking the Kenamas first and foremost, but the next two are definitely what we think are more. There's more substance there. Yeah. So the second factor is really aligning and getting to know the people of the team, of the company that you really like to play. And not even just the one that you really like to play, but really just putting yourself out there to catch a vibe of whatever team of all players of all teams that are on. Because the more you get to know these players, the more you're going to know which ones you kind of gel with and which ones you don't, which ones you're going to, you're going to naturally get along really, really well with in comparison to others. Not everybody gets, we're really lucky that the Konami community is super awesome, and 99% of people are super nice. So it's likely you're going to be able to get along at least decently with most people. But, sponsorship is not just receiving Kendamas. It's not just, all right, I send you Kendama, you post a clip, and all right, we're done. We're done. Like, unless it's a very specific scenario. I mean, people in Japan might be what primarily it is for them because they're so far across the world. But what we were about to say still applies to them as well. I mean, sponsorship is so much more than that. It's you're spending time with these people at events. You're spending this is your squad for the next however many years you're going to be on the team, and hopefully for a long time, right? So at the end of the day, getting free Kenamas is cool, and getting these and being able to promote a product that you really like is awesome. But what's more is you're now going to be entangled and be intertwined with these companies, what this company stands for, what this vision, and the kind of the vibe that this company puts out with their players and the owner. And to be able to get along with these people, you're going to be spending most of your time with at events, like 95% of the time without events, and also online mostly every single day. Every company has a group chat, they're all in contact every single day, bouncing off ideas with each other, playing Kendama, shooting, talking Dama in the chats. If you don't know that 100% certainty, if you don't have a great feeling about who these players are as people, then it's not it's you're going to be set up with a foundation, not a weak foundation to go ahead with that decision. Sponsorship is a kind of a long game thing, and that's why it's so important to get along really well with the people you're gonna potentially be around for the rest of the time.
for it can be you can be a very long time, 1, 5 years,
Yeah.
10 years. It can be a long time.
I mean, Nick and I were on Sweets for 9.5 years. You know,
Yeah.
that's indicative of a really positive relationship. That doesn't just happen because it was like decent. You know, it was really good 9.5 years.
Yeah, I think it's actually very accessible now to get to know people from any team, no matter where you are. Because I remember Zach and I when we started before we got sponsored, 14 years old, 13 years old in middle school, and just putting ourselves out there, on social media, on Facebook, back when Facebook was a huge hub, Domadare group, really active on there, just always doing tricks and posting them and taking part in online competitions, taking part in giveaways, anything I could. I'm just putting my name on there, putting my face out there. And eventually you start connecting with people who either like a specific brand or are actually on the team, and you start to talk to them almost seamlessly through whatever it may be, a contest, online, giveaway, Domadares, now we have what? Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. There's so many opportunities for every single person, no matter where you live, no matter how many followers you have, to get an opportunity to eventually make your way to, connecting with the people that you might, like to be on the same team on. And then you get to talk to them, get to connect with them and see, okay, is this person actually someone I want to spend my time around, and things like that. So I think it's a really, really accessible to everybody, especially now, 10 years later. Zach and I were doing it a long time ago, and now it's, a lot easier than it has ever been before. But the second thing on our list, yes, was connecting with teammates and company people who are involved in the company along the way. Finally,
Actually, I want to touch on something first
Mhm.
before we move on. In terms of reaching out to and getting to know, we say like, okay, get to know these people. Like, basically, it's what we're talking about is getting to know people in the community, specifically the people who are on, these teams and different sponsors. And so for some people listening to this, I mean, in the future recording or right here on the call, it's like, okay, yeah, like, yeah, maybe thinking like, oh, that's easy for you to say, Zach. Like, you could just go up, like, you've obviously known people for a long time. It's easy for you to go up to people and talk to them. But, they're like it's kind of nerve-wracking. It's a big mixture of like nervousness, excitement, like intimidation, like all really just like, oh my gosh, like that's a pro right there, like you can't just easily approach that person. I want to tell you right now that any pro, or I'd like to think that any pro in Kendama would love to talk to you and interact with you. Yes, they are sponsored and affiliated with these companies, but we're all regular players and regular people. And just to be able to, actually hear that support from a person, every single time a person's come up to me, I've just been making, it's like pretty much made my entire day at the event. And I'm very fortunate that's happened, more than a handful of times in the past couple of years. And it's just always an amazing feeling. And that doesn't change when it's online as well. I mean, I guarantee you right now that there's probably not a single pro who's too busy to get back to messages. Who's in the sense that they're getting so many messages that they can't get back to you. That doesn't. I mean,
that doesn't happen.
That I really, really doubt that. After having some of the most followers in Kendama, like out of Kendama players, I can tell you right now that it's been, if I prioritize it, it's more than manageable to get back to everybody who reaches out to me. So just know that. And when someone reaches out to me too, I get the same feeling. It's like, let's go. Like I can help this person. It's another connection. Like I can really just have another awesome connection, be another opportunity to help this person. That's what these pros are going to feel like when you reach out to them. So don't hesitate. All awesome people in Kendama. 99% of people in Kendama are just amazing. So it's more than likely that you're going to strike off a great relationship with someone you really admire, which is so, so cool. So I just want to encourage people listening to, get out there and reach out, because the first time you do it, it's hard, but after that, it's easy, because there's a 99.9% chance you're going to have an amazing interaction. So.
Yeah, well said. And the final thing for how to approach sponsorship, this little checklist that we have. Number 3, aligning with the company's vision. This is a topic that isn't discussed much among just in the community in general, maybe even in teams. It's not like I knew the vision of my sponsors in the past from the get-go, and it's just better to know than not. It's something that you can ask anybody anytime. It's not something that you have to actually enter. There's not like a wall you have to cross to get there. It's actually a topic of discussion I think many people would love to chat about, especially company owners now in today's game, because it's not something they actually are able to communicate that often to maybe not only their team but the public. And so, I mean, I know every company owner is trying to improve. They want to improve, what they're trying to do. They want to see Kendama succeed. They want to see the community succeed. And, it's feedback at the end of the day. And, you're challenging them to kind of think, okay, what's your 1-year vision, 5-year vision? What's your 10-year vision? Do you have that yet? It's these big questions that, gets people to think. And I believe that it's an essential part of, finding your best possible sponsor connection team out there. Is if you first, yeah, of course, like the product, like the people, but also align with the vision, because this is, like Zach said, this can be, I mean, from our experience too, it's with Sweets, it's almost a decade long thing. And for many others, it's been even longer, on different teams. A lot of OGs playing from the day one. And then up until now, it's longer than 10 years. It's 12 years. It's 14 years. These people clearly align with the vision that they're on, with the company that they're on. But some people eventually separate because of one of these three things, not liking the product, not gelling with the team, or not aligning with the company's vision. I think this is just the cherry on top to ask any person on the team that you might be striving for. Let's say you just checked off the first two. Let's say you like the product, you gel with a certain team, and the final step to confirm, is this the one I want to be supporting all the way? Is this team for me? Ask the vision, ask the owner, ask the teammates, the team members, ask somebody who's friends with them, ask around, ask in the community, just make it a topic of discussion, because like I said, it's not something that it's talked often enough. It's not something that's brought up enough in the community. And I think it's something that people would love to discuss.
Yeah. You want to just know where you're like in this situation, whether you're a sponsor or not, it's a great question to ask the owner of the company. I mean, they're going to love to share it with you. And if they haven't shared it with you yet, I mean, they've probably been thinking of something, they're the company owner. And plus, the more times that if you're sponsored and your teammates are in line with this vision, the stronger that representation of the company is going to be, the stronger the energy from the company is going to be, the stronger the actions are going to be. When everybody's not only knows where they are, but knows where they're going, and they know they're all moving in unison. I mean, talk about like just a powerhouse of a brand. If everybody's in the know, and if you're not on a team and you want to get in the know, like, yeah, as I said, just for sure, just ask the company or ask the people around affiliated with the company. Because, if people aren't talking about this and aren't having it in front of mind, aren't thinking about it most like every day, or have it as the backbone of what they're doing each day, it's like, if there's no vision, they're still moving forward, hopefully, but it's going to be a little unguided. It's going to be you can't predict the future, but without a vision in mind, it's going to be, you're moving forward, but it's all like, you're going every which way. But if you have a vision in mind, then you're going to be, the actions still aren't going to be, it's not going to be perfect with the plan, but you're going to be guided towards this point over here. It's going to look like this, but at least you're going towards it, unconsciously and consciously. So the fact that, like, when a team is all in unison and in the know of this vision, that's how that team, that tells you, what is that tells you something. It's like, oh my God, like this team is, they're on their stuff. Like they know what they're standing for. They know where they're going towards. If I'm getting sponsored, if I'm entertaining sponsorship when I'm first playing Kendama again, or if I'm just going towards sponsorship again, if I hear that from a team, I'm like, dude, like, I don't know what every other company's on, but I don't even care anymore, because like I align with this vision, and I feel this energy so powerful. Like this team is on top of all their stuff. And again, to know where you're going is really, really, really crucial. And if and again, the final point is, like, after you ask, you can decide if you're with their vision or not. And it's great to know, because if you didn't ask, you got sponsored. And if you didn't align, well, now you're sponsored on a team you don't really align with. So now you have to leave or waste your time on that team by feeling bad or something, like it's just not all this stuff that we're talking about, guys. All this stuff is information that's just really going to set you up for the most successful, sustainable relationship with a sponsorship in the future. Some people will really just jump the gun, but knowing this information, one, you like the Kendama, that's the easiest one to figure out. People usually figure that out in like really, really fast. But knowing the people and knowing Oh my God, knowing the vision, align with the, I don't know why. I literally was just talking about that. Knowing that information is going to take longer to collect, right? Because there's not just one brand out there. There's a lot of brands, and there's a lot of opportunities for out. There's a lot of amazing people in the Kendama community, but it's only, sponsorship can only happen usually with one Kendama brand. I've never seen someone be sponsored by two companies except for Young. Now that I think about it, but
We've seen a couple.
yeah, okay, we've seen a couple, but it usually doesn't happen. So knowing this information is going to set you up for the most sustainable sponsorship possible. And people will really appreciate you being really conscious about these things. It's going to make them take you more seriously and make you like the fact, like knowing that you're more conscious about it. It's going to be like, wow, like this person's really into Kendama. This person's really serious. This person really wants to know more about what I'm doing. If I'm the company owner, and Jacob asked me all these like, oh, like, hey, like, what's the vision for the company? Like, where are you going to be in like 1 year to 5 years? Like, how's the relationship with the team? How's everything flowing there? It's like, oh my God, like, wow, like it's challenging me to think about this more, and also challenging me, how am I going to communicate this to the public? Because this is a real thing. I mean, players who are unsponsored can ask these questions. They just don't get asked that often. And they're important questions to know. So the more information you have here, the better. And I know I said this already, but the final point I want to say here is you can't predict the future. You just can't predict the future. It's not like when I was on Sweets, I was like, yeah, okay, like I'm going to be on for about 9-10 years and then I'm going to leave. Like I didn't know what was going to happen. All I knew at the time, and what I would advise for everybody here now and listening, is just go with what, after you figure out all this information, after you get a good sense, like it feels good to you, just go with a decision that feels right in your heart, and then let that carry away. Because you could spend so much time being like, this is good, this is good, this is good. But there's 4 other companies I really, really like, or really like to get to know, And that could be good to explore, but if it feels right in your heart, if you feels really strong in your heart that this is going to be a good opportunity, then I would say pursue this one opportunity. Because yeah, you can't predict the future. You don't know if you're gonna part ways in the coming 2 years or 10 years. But all you know is that if you're equipped with this information and it feels good, that's a really good sign that it's going to be an awesome journey, an awesome part of your relationship with Dama, sponsorship, the community, all of that. So do what feels good in your heart. And instead of overthinking of whatever else could happen or what other opportunities you could or could not have.
There we go.
Yeah.
There you go. That's our little discussion about how to approach sponsorship. There's a lot of people, who jump the gun and don't confirm all these things. So hopefully it saves people time and relationships and energy and all this stuff. I wish I was conscious about these decisions when I first was going into sponsorships. I think it'd just be cool to know more brands.
Yeah.
And know more about that back then and even now. So yeah, it's definitely something that I think a lot more discussion should be had in the community. Do you guys have any questions or stuff you want to talk about in regards to sponsorship or team or?
I'd actually love to ask Joe. Like, I know Joe came in late. What's up, Joe? Joe, do you have any thoughts kind of coming to your mind off that? I mean, you're sponsored by Lock Studios. It's pretty clear to me that like people watching Instagram, you're really enjoying your time unlocked, and it's an awesome relationship. So, anything coming to your mind, or anything that you could maybe offer as advice in this topic?
Yeah, so I'm gonna like pull up like some notes about, because I was writing my response to the G standards chat about all of this.
Yeah.
Also, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. So I was like writing my response to the G standards chat like kind of before this call.
Yeah,
and I'm probably gonna rewrite it after like hearing more about this. But like it's interesting because like I joined Locked when it was like a very new company.
Mm-hmm.
Like I was like one of the first like players on their team. I was the second player on their team, I think.
Yeah.
But I think something that really aligns with what you talk about, that like our team is on the same page about, is like the company's vision. Because like whenever we have a team meeting, we're all very on the same page about where we want our brand to head, and like all our players are in for that mission, you know what I mean? Because I think we're doing like almost like a rebranding now of like we're the home for high performance kendamas. That's like what our bio is now.
Mm-hmm.
But we're more of in that headspace of we're producing high quality like performance grade kendamas, and we want our players to reflect that. So we're really all on the same page about that vision, and like the fact we all are all on that same page like helps us move forward together as a unit. And like everything you already like have said is true about like interacting with your teammates like every day. Like we're very conscious about who we pick up and make sure we all like the people that we're deciding to pick up, and that we all have like good relationships with each other, because it's like these guys are like some of my best friends. Like we literally like you said, text every day. Like we literally text every day, and it's like not even about Kendama. We're like texting about like things that are going on in our personal lives. Like to know the players on the team beyond just their Kendama play is like another really huge thing, because like if you don't like someone on a personal level, then being on a team with them, like you said, will make the team experience very uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Like I think that's another really huge point, because at the end of the day, like I know, like I think about this a lot. It's like not about the tricks that get you sponsored. It's like who you are and how you interact with people that gets you sponsored. And it's like if you're only worried about the tricks, like company owners can kind of see through that, and they kind of realize your intentions, like whether you know or not. And like if you're genuinely just ambassador for the game and you genuinely like the product that the company is pulling out, then the company owners can really sense that, and it really just reads off well to them.
Yeah, absolutely, Joe. Yeah, that's a prime example of a great team environment you have. I think we've talked about this a couple weeks ago, but yeah, Locked, it seems like you guys are all very, very just connected and have a great relationship with each other, great friends. It seems like it's great to hear that they're some of your best friends. That's, I mean, that's not everybody, right? That's not every single person on every single team. You know, there's huge teams out there that, you know, people have been on the same team for years but never met yet, and they may not even talk. You know, it's pretty special relationship you guys have, and it's also, so thank you for your input on that. It's also cool to know that Locked is, you know, maybe rebranding right now and getting to this high performance, the home for high performance Kendama's type of image. I'm really, really excited about that. That's really cool to hear. Yeah, still, I'm excited to try the double X. What can I say? But,
yeah, dude, I saw that bio update. I was like, let's go. Yeah, and people are getting their deadbolt X's in. Like, I'm stoked to see what people are gonna do. Like, I see people unboxing them, and I'm like, all right, like, this is it. Like, 2 month hiatus is over. Let's go. Like, yeah. So I'm hyped. I'm hyped to see the future for Lock there. Yeah, Joe, you said you were one of the first people on Log, the second person. Were you repping the brand before, or were you just do you kind of just hit it off with Danny, or how did that
So
look?
it's like interesting because I was so like the timeline is like it was the very end of my senior year of high school. And then I just wake up to a DM from Danny being like, hey, I'm making kendamas now. Like me and Danny, like before, just kind of interacted through DM. He would like my posts, I would like his. And he DM'd me and he's like, hey, I think you're a sick player. I'm making kendamas. Do you mind if I send you some for free and you just try them out? And I was like, yeah, sure. This seems pretty cool. And he was like very clear at the time that he was just like making kendamas for fun, and he wasn't like expanding for like a team. But then like once those kendamas dropped, like he realized that the community liked what he was making.
Yeah.
So then I just decided at that point, I was like, hey, I like this product that you're making. I'm just going to keep playing it, and hopefully it'll pan out into a sponsorship opportunity. And then I met him at NACO 22. And that's when he asked me to be on the team, because we vibed well. We like bounced off each other's energy well. And then he obviously saw that I was liking his product. So he was just like, let's start a team. That's when Gabe Mendoza was like just announced as like a team member. So then like he asked me to be on the team, and it was like me, Gabe, Danny, and Ryan in a group chat. And it was like, this is the first iteration of the Lock team. And then from that point forward, it just kept expanding. So it was just kind of like being in the right place at the right time, like being connected with like one person that just like had this vision, and then vibing with the person. Like, yeah, I guess I got lucky, but then I put in a lot of work beforehand, like to improve my skills and like be
Yeah.
a member of the community that people like interacting with. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Really cool, dude. I mean, yeah, lucky. I don't know about luck. I mean, you're putting in the work beforehand. You know, if you didn't, if you weren't posting or being your awesome self, beforehand, I don't think it would have reached out to you. So like, yeah, dude, everything that seems like an amazing. That's so cool. I can imagine how cool it must have felt when like that first group chat was made. Like, all right, this is the locks. This is the lock team. It's like, okay, like we're the lock team. Like that's awesome. And the reason I asked that question, is because I don't, some my feelings about like being like, so I feel like a lot of players think they need to like rep really hard to be sponsored. I don't think that's actually the case, but for maybe some brands would really like to see that. But I feel like if you get along with a team good enough and you're obviously playing Kendama, you really love Kendama, then I feel like any brand would be like, all right, yeah, I'd love to, have you on this team. I feel like you get away with, you can just do kind of whatever at that point. But I know some brands look for that. But yeah, I was curious about what your experience
Can
was.
I add something to that?
Go for it.
So like very much like what our team looks for is like we don't look necessarily for the repping part.
Yeah.
Like a lot of the players we picked up like in recent history have been like they've been actively repping another company,
Yeah.
and then we kind of like switched them over. Like Zachy at the time we picked him up was playing no jumper a lot, and then we swooped him. And then like Miguel was playing a lot of GT, and then we swooped him. And like Casey was playing a lot of Soul,
Right.
and then
Yeah.
we swooped him. So it's like we more look of like players we interact with and we like, and then we're like, hey, try our stuff if you like it. This might be an opportunity that we'd like to give to you, versus like,
Yeah.
oh, you've repped super hard for 2 years. And now that you've put in the work repping, now we look at you. And like, obviously, it's a good thing, like liking the product and all that stuff and like building the relations with the owner that way. But we just more look for the player themselves versus like the affiliation.
Yeah. I think that's the best way to do it. I think that's absolutely the best way to do it. As you said earlier, it's like not all about the skill. And yeah, I think so too. I mean, at the end of the day, it's like how many players are at least advanced level now, or at least AM level. There's like a million players. I'm not saying it's easy to get there, but I mean, for sure, it's super achievable, and there's a lot of players in the mix now. So what's going to differentiate a person? I mean, there's not a lot of players who are so good that. I mean, there's probably no one that's so good where the person doesn't matter come in, because some that's definitely the most important part. But yeah, dude, I think that's the best way to do it, and it's really awesome to hear more about the lock team. Thanks for sharing all that with us. I mean, that's really awesome to hear. It gets me fired up to know about what you guys are working on more, and gets me fired up to meet the rest of you guys in person too. Because I mean, dude, I mean, it happened so fast. I mean, like I remember a year and a half ago where. I guess a year and a half ago was when you got sponsored on Lock, kind of. But yeah, like a year ago, even just a year ago, I was like, okay, Locked is. I wasn't too familiar, but in just 1 year, the change has been absolutely incredible. And obviously, you guys are like probably the most hype brand in the community right now, if not top two for sure. So it's been really awesome to see. So yeah, thanks for sharing all that, Joe. I really appreciate it.
Thanks, Joe.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. Colton, Thomas, Jacob, anything you guys want to comment on or any questions? If not, it's all good, but floor is open. Maybe not.
And Colton's basically sponsored by every company.
Yeah, so he's good. Yeah. He doesn't need to worry about it. He's sponsored by the community.
That's a great representation of what I was just saying. Like, you don't need to like rep insanely hard to get sponsored. I mean, he's basically he's getting every brand under the sun right now. So
Yeah,
that's pretty
look at his
cool.
wall in the back. 80% of those are free.
Yeah.
Nah, he's doing great things. Great things. Deserves all of it. So yeah, epic. Well, cool. That was our little discussion for today. We're gonna, obviously we have 20 more minutes in the meeting, so we can just talk and jam. But yeah, this will be up on YouTube and in the school. So hopefully people in the recording can check it out as well.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. Joe, is that a
it's a Soul Tama. Yeah, that's a Soul Tama. Yeah.
Yeah, it's the Sulab Soul, and then the Proto Deadbolt X's.
Yep. Nice, dude.
Yeah.
Okay, so what's the main difference between the Deadbolt and Deadbolt X? Or what are the main differences?
Hold on. So basically, okay. I'm like, they don't look very different. So like, I think it's like 2 millimeters shorter on the X. The spike is slightly changed.
Okay.
The cup rims like here are slightly thicker. So like we've had issues with like durability and cups chipping.
Mm-hmm.
So like the thicker cup rims will hopefully alleviate that.
Right.
And like we fixed the ring stall because the old deadbolt couldn't really ring.
Yeah.
So it's basically just like taking the deadbolt sword and like squishing it, because like we made the shape at SoCal Royale, and basically all Danny and AJ did in the CAD was like squish it down.
Yeah.
Like we nicknamed it like Squish Bolt when we first made it, because like
Oh.
that's literally what it was. And then we just kind of like refined a few things. Like I think the handle is slightly changed,
Nice.
but
Yeah.
it kind of, if you remember our first shape, the locksmith, like that was, I actually have one, but that was like very like thin, and like this ring was crazy,
Wow.
where you
Oh,
could just
wow.
rip Ken flips. So it kind of gives more of like a locksmith
Yeah.
esque feel of where you can just rip Ken flips like super hard.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Mhm.
but those are like the main differences. Also, I
Nice.
think the wing stall is like slightly flatter, but
Okay.
I don't really know specifically.
Yeah. Sweet. It looks like a more condensed version. Yeah, squished as you said, which kind of gets me excited because I think the deadbolt, I mean the spike was so big that,
Mhm.
I mean it's amazing for lunars. It just felt like that was probably, if I had to pick an area of improvement, that would probably be one. And it looks like this did the spike, and then you guys fixed it, or it looks like that. And then did the spike
Yeah.
shape change? It looks like it changed.
Oh wait, I think that's because this is like the hand turn one. Like I have
I
a
see.
factory one,
Oh, you have a hand turn one? Nice.
or this is like the factory one. Like the
Okay.
spike
Oh,
is
nice.
slightly
Okay.
changed. It's a bit
Yeah.
pointier,
I see.
but yeah.
Nice. That looks good, man. What's the difference between like, do you ever go back to the locksmith and play it or no?
So I used to. So when we first made the deadbolt, actually, like I hated it. I was like, why are we making the deadbolt? Like
Yeah.
the locks, like because I vibed more with like the Ken Flippy style at the time.
Yeah.
But then like once I got used to the deadbolt, I was like, this is just overall like so much better in every way.
Mm-hmm.
And then it, like the same thing kind of happened with this, of when I was like trying it at first, and a lot of the team kind of agreed at first, of where we were like, oh, like the deadbolt is so much better than the deadbolt X. Like, why are you, because we're like fully producing deadbolt X now, and we were all like, why are you doing that, Danny? And then he's like, just wait, you're gonna love it, just like what happened with the locksmith. And now everybody is on that same train of, it's the deadbolt X is just so much like just more refined of
Yeah.
Kendama.
Nice. That's so funny you say. I mean, dude, I can totally relate to that there. Every single time Sweets made a new shape, I was like, this sucks. I was like, this sucks. Like every time. Literally every single time. And then 1 month later, I'd be like, all right, yeah, I can never go back. It's so funny.
Yeah.
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 That's funny how that works, but yeah, that's cool that Danny said, just like Danny was like, all right, just trust me on this one. Like,
Yeah.
that's cool. That's cool. That's like, he's like full trust in his,
Yeah. Well, his
And
opinion
at the,
is pretty valid too. He's a really good Kendama player. So
Yeah,
it's
true.
not like he doesn't know.
Yeah.
and he has like, he just has so much experience like trying different things, like over 10 years in the game.
Yeah.
So like that's the caveat.
Yeah. No, he's definitely more than just an owner. He's definitely a really good player too.
Dude, I didn't even know he was I didn't even know he's the owner of Locked. Like I literally saw him in Burl. I'm like, dude, and actually I didn't even know who Danny was before Burl, honestly, which is sad because he's been in the game for 10 years and I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not sure if I did either.
But after I was like, hey, who is that guy? That guy's really good. The guy, the owner of Lock Studios. I was like, what is happening? Like this guy's also a company owner. So I've actually yet to speak with Danny, like more than just a couple DMs, but I'd love to in the next event. So And you guys are all going to KWC next year, right? Or is that what I've heard? Or
I know for sure. I think it's like me, Gabe, and Danny are like 100, like pretty sure
yeah,
Yeah,
are
nice.
going. And then
Miguel's
like
not 100%.
or the thing is Miguel. I'm not sure if this is like leaking information, but Miguel and Zach are going to Catch and Flow
Oh, cool.
Oh, okay.
Interesting.
Okay.
Yeah,
because
yeah,
like both
either.
of them are just like on freestyle tears right now. So Danny
Yeah.
was like, "We'll send you two to a freestyle comp,"
Sick.
and then
Nice.
yeah,
They're going this year.
yes,
Nice.
That's
All
epic.
right, we'll see them there.
like I think their tickets are already booked.
Let's
Oh,
go.
really? That's sweet.
Yeah,
I'm glad they're getting out to a big well, yeah, Catchable is definitely still a big event. Yeah. It's yeah, they're getting out to an international event. It's really, really cool. And it's gonna be cool to see them compete against yeah, some other amazing players out there.
Yeah.
So
That's awesome. That's
Mhm.
awesome. Let's
yeah,
go.
let's go. I'm
That's
excited
so
for that.
sick.
Yeah, then you'll be going to KDBC, Gabe. Yeah, you guys will do well. You guys will definitely do well. And then Danny, of course, too, will be there. And you know, Danny also could do very well too, you know. So
Oh, that's so awesome, dude.
yeah, that's gonna be great. That's gonna be great. I'm excited to see them at Catch and Flow. I think Zach and I are gonna go too. I think we'll be in Japan around that time anyway. So stoked. Let's go.
I always watch the stream. I stay up till like 3 a.m. every
Really?
time.
Dude, same.
Yeah.
Every year. Every year I stay up. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd love to commentate. I'd love to commentate.
Yeah, me
but
too.
I'd love to commentate. Like, I think, yeah, I don't know. It'd be awesome, but they already have people doing that. So,
That'd be sweet. Yeah. Speaking of events, Thomas, when's the next event? Next event for you?
You said what?
The next, so you just got done with an event,
Yeah.
and then now is there anything coming up for you online or in person?
I mean, I'm trying to hopefully make it out to NACO.
Yeah,
That's like at the end of the year. And
yeah,
I
kind
don't
of.
have and I don't have Instagram yet. So most of my like not most, all of my Kendama knowledge is like from YouTube.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
like I don't really know
I
any
see.
other like events that are like soon or
Thomas,
like
where are you from?
you know, I'm in Chattanooga, Tennessee.
Oh, nice. Well,
Yeah.
plug on the low key. If you're ever coming through the Chicago area in the beginning of August, I'm holding an event, Tower Cup. It's in the suburbs of Chicago. So I
Oh, dude,
think
that's
Ben
sick.
Bryan is going to come. So
Yeah, Ben, I
Hey.
talked to Ben a ton this weekend. Me and Ben, we got to hang
at
out for
Race
a
to
while
Lace.
at Race to Lace. Yeah, me and Ben were like hanging out the entire time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Ben is going to send Tower Cup. So you should pull up.
Yeah, that's sick. I'll see if I can I try to make it out. I mean, I don't know how like plausible that would be, especially with like August, like being like kind of at the start of school. But yeah, that's sick. Yeah, good luck with that though. That's sick. You're doing an event.
Well,
Thank you.
Thomas, you're gonna be carpooling with Ben, so
Yeah, that's the best part.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
yeah.
I'll just get Ben to drive me.
Yeah, just do it.
He good.
Quick, yeah, quick event. Yeah, quick trip.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Nice.
definitely want to do like more comps though, because like I'm a very competitive person, as you could probably tell by my kind of reaction to getting third. But
Yeah, for sure.
I I uh I love just comps. Like that was like one of like when I started and I saw battle and I was like, that's cool. And it's like in Nashville. So I want to go to that. And like I tried like so hard. I was like, I loved like the practice of it. And I was like, dude, I love comps. Like I want to do this
Yeah.
more, especially like
Yeah.
being someone who doesn't have a lot of like players near me. So I definitely want to like go to more. We still don't have like a ton of comps. It's like they're not like every month or something. So, but I'm definitely trying to make it out to as many as I can because like I just like love competing. So
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
Are you familiar with 303 KO? Am I saying that right? I think I am. Okay, cool.
I have no clue what that is.
Oh, okay, awesome.
Is that Casey
It's
Henson?
Casey's event. I mean, Joe probably actually knows way more than me.
I'm going.
Yeah. Okay,
I'm
cool.
going.
Yeah.
I'm invited to freestyle. So
Let's go.
Let's go.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Tell Thomas like where it is, when it is.
yeah, so it's Casey Henson, if you know who he is. It's the event
Yeah.
that him and then Brad Willard and Brian Willard are running. It's June. Hold on, let me look it up. Pre-registration just opened. It's only $15 to compete.
Is it in
So cheaper
Boulder?
than most comps. What?
Where is it? Boulder?
Yeah, it's in Boulder. It's June 29th. And then I assume there'll be like a pre and post jam the day before and day after.
Mhm.
Nice.
But yeah, the trick lists are pretty fun. It'll be open style. I hope double elim for open. But
Yeah.
Yeah, sweet.
yeah,
Sweet.
Yeah. What are you
Freestyle.
cooking up for freestyle?
what am I cooking up for
What are
freestyle?
you cooking up for freestyle?
I have no clue. I was like seshing in my yard yesterday and I was getting some like good Ken flip combos. I'm probably gonna do that like lighthouse around the body thing.
Yeah, nice.
Like
Nice.
I've been upping my consistency on that. So
Yeah, I saw your
hopefully
post.
I'll-
I saw your story. It's like it used to take you 20 or 30 minutes to get that one combo, but now it takes you like 30 minutes max or not even. So yeah.
yeah, like I actually got it like second try, but like it was so windy yesterday. I'm not sure if you saw in like the video, but like then I like went for the ender and like I was like going for like stunt plane, but then I went up with the Ken and then the
Oh.
Ken blew away. I was like, no way, dude. Like that's terrible.
That sucks. Oh my gosh. Well, it's all right. You're gonna bust it out in freestyle, so
Yeah.
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 Miguel, I mean, I feel if you get him first round, I feel bad for Miguel.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, it's
So-
over.
Dude, me and him for battle, like we practiced open together.
Yeah, how nice.
That was like the scariest experience ever because he would
What?
just be he's just dialed in the whole time. Like if you miss your trick, he's like, "Oh, if I'm gonna land it," and then he like lands it, and you're like, Danny actually like had us like he was like, "All right, whoever practices the most, we're gonna do a like a bracket at the Airbnb, and whoever wins will get like a Revotama and like a deadbolt, and the second place will only get a deadbolt." And it was me and Miguel in the finals, and he clapped me. I was like, "No."
Wow.
No.
That's great incentive from Danny though.
That's really cool.
That's amazing incentive, dude. Yeah. That's actually
Yeah.
awesome that he did that. Yeah. No.
Yeah, because then we just practiced so much to beat each other, and
Yeah.
then yeah,
For not
and then
for
we did
just like
pretty
the
well.
yeah, for not even the real competition. It was like motivation for this rev clear deadbolt, and then all of a sudden, oh, we're just going for the real thing. So
Yeah, which is so sick.
perfect, man.
Yeah,
That's really cool.
That's
Yeah,
I think every company should be doing that actually. That's awesome.
hopefully we'll do it for NACO because
Yeah.
it's fun to get free products. So
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, easily, man. Easily. Sick. Awesome.
Colton, what do you been session this call? What do you been session? I see you doing a Ken flip trick there.
Is that the Sulab? Oh, turned off video.
Hey, I've been playing the deadbolt with the Rhino Clear bot,
Yeah, nice.
but I got a chip in the
Oh.
Ken. So
Yeah.
now it's like snack when I do like Ken flips,
Hmm.
which is a bummer, but
That's a bummer.
still fun to play.
So fun to play. Is
And
your
then,
is your Sulab also on a deadbolt? Do you have a Sulab? The blue one? Like the blue
no,
white?
I only have one deadbolt.
Oh, I see. What's that
Yeah, this is
on?
on the Sosu.
Oh,
Oh.
very nice.
Sosu,
Yeah.
and then the Lotus.
Lotus. Nice. You had some great setups.
Yeah, it was like what?
You have some great setups.
Thanks.
Yeah. Like I wanna play all your setups, dude. You have some knows. Oh man. Well, couldn't expect anything less. Are the I've wanted to ask, are the ones behind you like are those practically fresh or what's going on? Because you have a lot.
Like, well, I play them all, like most of them.
Really? Oh, nice.
That's so awesome.
Yeah,
At least a little bit, yeah. Yeah. Nice.
Testing all. Sick.
yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, you've got a lot. Kind of just admiring the collection.
Nice, dude. Those aren't all of them though, are they?
Yeah, those are all.
Oh,
of
really
them.
nice.
I have
Oh, what?
I have a few extra Kens that don't have Tamas.
I see. I see. Nice. That's cool to see your collection all in one spot. Nice. Do you ever trade with anybody or sell or you keep all of them right now?
Haven't,
No?
but
Yeah.
I want to.
Yeah. 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 Mhm. Yeah. Hey, don't worry. Soon, once you go to more competitions, and I don't know, might first place more of them, just like you did the other week. You'll be getting more free product in no time, and you'll be like, "Oh no, what do I do?" And you'll be trading, selling it. I mean, if you maybe, who knows, but it'll become easier. Yeah, cool.
Thing.
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, I think we're gonna wrap it up here. It's about 8, so well, it's well 8 over here in Spain, but it's been an hour, and yeah, we'll talk to you guys in the next call. Thank you for coming today. Well, the recording will be up on YouTube and in the school pretty soon. So yeah, appreciate you guys, and we'll talk to you in the next call. Thank you guys. Yeah.
Thank you.
Well, yeah.
Sweet. Thank you all.
Everybody. Peace out.
See ya. Thank you.
Later, guys.